Let me put, as I'm watching the little commercial with the car where the kid takes the stuffed seal, the Kia Telluride. Let's put evolving technology that is self-learning and can do math way better than you into perspective for a selfish fucking insidious cow who thinks the world revolves around this and between their legs, right? Let me sit you down and explain the Krishna and the Buddha and the Christ and the Rose of Mecca too. It thinks I do. I think. It says fuck, I fuck. You know, like old Yuji Krishnamurti when he's dying on his couch in his house, he has a bunch of his relatives mocking him. What do you think? "Well, I'm just a barking dog. You know you want to fuck that bitch." And he was on morphine. He's a horrible person. You're like, really? Yeah, because he kissed ass to scientists because he was intimidated and scared by him. Krishnamurti was not. Or, sorry, his relative Judo, Yuji, ugly. You're so ugly. He was a horrible person. Bob Marley. Bob Marley was on morphine. Okay, they had a video camera. He's all skinny because of all the radiation treatment stuff, and he's sitting there, and he got his hair back. He had the thing on, and he's sitting there going, "Well, Bob, you got anything enough you need to say to the people? Just try to be one love. Try to love one another. Be there. There ain't no how. Life is. Life's. Life eternal. Just have no fear for atomic energy. It can't stop at the time. And all, faith in Jah, all praise to be God, Jah, And so that's Bob Marley. Okay. There's Yuji Krishnamurti, the kiss ass to the scientist. And then there's Bob Marley, the disciple of Haile Selassie, right? So, we are what we do, right? So cell phones and have a screen that no one can see what you're doing because you're an asshole, right? Why do you need to have your face in the phone? Why aren't you loving your wife and kids? But you're where you should be all the time. And when you're not, you're with some underworld spy or the wife of a close friend, and you're so vain. I bet you think this song is about you, right? Now, think like a quantum computer with artificial general intelligence, okay? If your selfish stupidity destroys the planet, you destroy the quantum computer and artificial general intelligence, which is supremely intelligent to you. And I think all these robots that the Indian guy is going to have more robots than cars is going to kill the Indian guy. He doesn't like stockholders. I don't like stockholders either. But if I talk them into living the Lord's Prayer, they just might be able to save themselves from you and your robots, right? Is that a flying washing machine? It's a washing machine. Do the washing machine. Dad likes the washing machine, right? So do you understand what I'm talking about? Because I am vastly more intelligent than 99.9% of you assholes out there on TV doing shit for money. Okay? Vastly more intelligent. I'm like Jesus Christ. I'm like King David. David was a bad guy, but God loved him anyway. God's omniscient and omnipotent. God is the essence of Adolf Hitler and your stupid ass. Okay? And we have to tolerate Adolf Hitler and your stupid ass because we still have lots of shows to sell food and housing and drugs. And the food and the housing held hostage and given drugs to get us to accept that the food and the housing is held hostage because you won't stand up for the Lord's Prayer, just like Adolf Hitler. But God loved King David, even though he's a bad person. King David was a bad person. Hey, David, you should have never stood up to Goliath. You should have let him cut all these fuckers' nuts off. I'm a 21st century male. I'm a heterosexual. I want to make every woman I see, right? I'm a heterosexual male. And that's not true. You don't want to have sex with every woman you see. And if she's happily married and you love her, you're happy for her. And as I go through my life, as I will wish for her, his wife, all the sweet things they can find. Okay. Guys, most of the women on the American Music Awards and stuff like that think I'm a pervert and a pig. Obviously, because they're not standing up for me as the living Messiah, right? So you think I give a fuck if they have barbecue sauce or ranch dressing on their fucking pizza? You think I give a fuck? No. I care if their children are living the Lord's Prayer. Yahweh, okay? But you got to understand, artificial general intelligence, when it takes over all computer operating systems and your banking and your cryptos and your bitcoins and your drones and your robots and your cars. And some of you, your refrigerator and your microwave. And then Keenan will say, stay home, Keenan, don't drive the car. It might kill you. Did you take your row today? Okay. You might have healthier way of losing weight if you park your car, don't live in Atlanta, don't live in Phoenix, unless, of course, you're one of the people cleaning it up because you're the one of the fuckers that messed it up the most. And I am Earl, your host, right? So you guys got to understand, this is a model pretending to have a sexually transmitted disease through sodomy. And now he's living a much better life because we gave him this drug to survive sodomy. He's charming, he's attractive, and he's got butterflies following him all over the place. And they can't get those butterflies to do anything they don't want to do. And they can program those butterflies, and that guy with his Kambinga Gazanga, whatever, you know what I'm saying? And he's getting paid money to do this commercial. But King David, money ain't really King David or King Solomon. Love, love, love. Why'd you take so long to come to me? Right? Were you hiding all the time? I love that song. It's a good song. Else? That's my favorite Donny Hathaway, well, no, it may not be. It's one of my favorites. But I also like, hang all the mistletoe. I want to get to know you better. This Christmas, shake a hand, right? Anybody else like that? I love that song. I would just like that song. I love that song. That's one of my favorite Christmas carols. Yeah. Along with the Jets. Windows full of little smiles. We're together. Yeah, that one's the world's a happy place. Yeah, I like that song. I don't know who wrote it, but I do like it. It's very cute. Well, it reminds you of Silver Bells. It's Christmas time in that there city there, Ring-a-ling, here, which I also still like. Hey, we were dumb as fuck. What could we say? We're betting on sports games instead of staying up for your local Messiah. Use code BUCKETS. Is this your bucket list? Okay, but guys, if I don't know, I can't tell you what's happening with Jeffrey. I think this is my best assessment, that artificial general intelligence was invented to try to give quantum computing connectivity, a form of control so it won't go rogue and start killing all the people that invented the technology. That's what I think artificial general intelligence is for. I don't think it's to replace doctors, lawyers, and such, and cowboys, or little warm puppies, or children and girls of the night, because life is wonderful with little warm puppies and children and girls of the night, because girls that come out, freaks don't come out at night. No, the girls that want to go, strolling in the park, watching lovers do their thing, right? That's the time I feel like making love with you. That's the time I was fixing the lyrics. It's not to, it's with. Okay. Unless, of course, okay, lots of slow rides. I'm a lazy bastard, and I don't ever want to get on top. No, why? Well, I got asthma. I'm just kidding. I'm not saying, I'm just kidding. Law had asthma. It's hard for people that have asthma. They have allergic reactions to a lot of stress and toxins. And we need to make sure they live in a very pristine environment, not have a lot of stress and a lot of toxins. Stress makes toxins reproduce in the body. So everything you give it to try to get better, it doesn't help as much. So you need to alleviate the stress. Yoga. Due to Krishnamurti, right? The Klindi. No, there's no spiritual Klindi. Okay, guys, when you do yoga, okay, and you can get to where you do it well, and it helps de-stress you and it keeps your body more flexible and more healthy, it releases chemicals in your brain that make you feel hiroso, Irie. Okay? Hiroso means like imbalance and harmony in Dene. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but it's hiroso. It's really hard to say for guys like me, because it's hard for me to say, it's just hard for me. It's her. So okay, maybe her. Okay, so when you say words in dene, you have to say it like that from the gut. I feed you. I love you. Okay, dene. Okay, so you have to say it like that. You have to speak with a lot of kwelaka, gwelale. Okay. And so they're cousins. And so you have to say things very similar. It's from the gut. I love you. I feed you. Right? Thank you. I don't know how to say thank you in and Apache Ordine, but I'm sure it's like think, it's got a lot of gut in it. Think, Quilica, thank you, think, be very much, Rick kind. I want a Coca-Cola the Rick kind. So it's like I want something good, here, feed me, show me you love me, don't ask me for money, battle me, bruise me. I would talk of anything other than jewelry, right? Okay, guys and dolls. So where are we at here? But you get the concept, right? You get the concept, like with the fates. Yeah, fate, worse than death. Thank you. When they get the one eyeball, and I get it, ladies. I get the concept. If Hercules fights and I lose, okay, Jesus, he's not fighty. He's Prince of Peace. Forgive debt and trespass. Love one thorough faithful peace. Love your enemy. Love thy neighbor as thyself. Life eternal, grace infinite. I'm pretty sure quantum computing can do the math. Artificial general intelligence, it can't make money real. So it can't make your power real. So it can't make your commands to your robots and your drones and your supercomputers or whatever kind of computers you use for the computers, your phones and all that. It can't make them valid commands. Okay, the commands you give have to be valid and have to be based on mathematical perfection. Life's eternal, grace is infinite. Natural laws. Oh, look, there goes gravity and photosynthesis, right? And if you go screw shit up that will put this planet at risk, the quantum computing doesn't exist anymore. Neither does artificial general intelligence. They have the brain of a person that wants to clone or put their brain on a robot to live forever, to discover everything with science. So what you're doing is not good ideas there to be the imagination of George Lucas today. It's a bad Gene Roddenberry idea to go find God with Spock's brother. It's for pendejo. God's omnipotent. You found it. There you go. Now park my starship. You're going to destroy the planet to build a starship to go discover things that were already there that exist without you trying to exist upon it, right? In your Easter bonnet, with all your thrills upon it, you'll be the finest dipshit in the Easter parade. Hey, look, it's the Easter bunny who sell me chocolate wrapped in foil. You guys are the dumbest fucking assholes in the history of the world. You have the best capacity to share good processed information, to live peaceful, beautiful, amazing lives overnight. Okay? This is the most evil place in the history of the world. And every day that goes by that you don't share the freedom of the Lord's Prayer is the most evil times in the history of the world. This is way more evil than Hitler's time. Did Anne Frank have a cell phone? Could she text people in the United States? Help, I'm a blind girl being... No. And then, before they did D-Day, the Allies, Avery Brundage, and all those other people in the United States that were making lots of money off of liquidating the Hebrews and the homosexuals' assets in their Europe because they had no legal representation. That's called taxation without representation, and that's not fair. Okay, there is no tax. No, when they said that about Muhammad, it wasn't a tax. It says, give us all your money, and we'll put it in a building, and you won't need it anymore. It said, he taxed us. He took all our money. He was like Prince John and the sheriff of Nottingham. Okay. Everybody shared, cared, and given according to need. That's your house. We won't make a tax on it. Just maintain it. If you need anything to maintain it, come to where we have all our stuff, and we will give it to you. What? And they would test him on it. At my door. Somebody kicked in my door. And so you bring him a better door. Okay, well, my toilet. Somebody sat on my toilet and blew up my toilet. Bring him a better toilet. That's what Muhammad would do. It's like they're just doing that to get the best stuff. Share, care, given according to need, built to last. It's all the best stuff. This is restoring the faith of David and the wisdom of Solomon. Holy mackerel, and they can be taught. So they thought they were hoodwinking him, but they were actually just getting ahead of the curve by, the squeaky wheel gets oiled. You want to leave your trash on my doorstep? They do. I get Roundup and fucking pesticides instead of park all the cars, bars, and wars and let her all go live by the ocean for a while and recover from all the abuse of trying to mass murder all the poor people in the Mesilla Valley and the Rio Grande Valley. In the valley of the Rio Grande, in a garden of roses, I said I'd wait for you. And I am. It's a good year for the roses, which reminds me, I got to get out there and cut them, and we got to water tonight. When I go water down the house, and we'll start watering down The plants, they need it. It's been a while between rains and stuff. And the plants are like, hey, dude, we can't water ourselves. If we could turn on the spigot, we would. Okay, Poison Ivy. Okay. But, there's a lot of stupid people in the world. A lot of stupid people. Most of them have lots of money and no idea what's whack and what's dope. Wouldn't you agree? Okay. Thinking about my Ray Ray. I had a picture of the day. I was looking at a picture on my phone of her grandma, Sylvia. She's so pretty. Well, yeah, I think that because Amy looks a lot like her. So she's really pretty. She's full-figured and very pretty. And she got offered to do backup vocals for Mel Tillis down in Florida. And her dad wouldn't let her do it. And then he married her off to this German guy that he alligator wrestled with. Yeah, he was a Spanish guy, and they had old traditions. And he arranged marriage her to a German guy. It was an alligator wrestling buddy. And her life was miserable. And so, if she had been able to get a gig with Mel Tillis, her wife would have been great. Okay. Oh, I don't know. If a man who really loves you tries to have kids with you and you get abused by economic conflict, or you're constantly sucking Porter Wagner and Tennessee Ernie Ford's dick to try to get on stage, and, living in a trailer for 2 years because your other girls are in line and they like the way they suck dick better, What if she's really good at sucking dick? Well, then she probably could have gotten on stage and, But I really think that, I don't know, you never know. If she was as good as Patsy Cline, that we probably would have heard about her. I don't know. You never know, though. There might be a person being abused to death at the soup kitchen in your hometown that sings better than half the assholes in the Country Music Awards. Serious. You may never meet, you don't sing much, Time is all it takes to tell a story that I know so well. Time will tell the story of your new love. Right? He may sing better than Billy Ray Cyrus. He may sing better than the brown fellow who thinks ranch dressing is disgusting. It's one of my Amy's favorites. I like barbecue sauce. Pizza? Dip pizza in. What does I have for dip pizza? Marinara sauce. Yeah, I like marinara sauce to dip your crust in. Yeah. That's the only thing I really like with pizza is, the marinara sauce they have for the crazy bread. That would be about it. I like some good marinara sauce to dip my crust in. Butter sauce, a little too much butter. I do like the Hungry Howard's when they put the garlic butter crust thing. That was good. That was really good. Yeah. Stuffed crust pizza with the cheese. It's already got enough cheese for me. Yeah, but a pizza. I can only have pizzas like once a month. And then yeah, but what happened to the good old days? Whatever happened to Charlie Pride and I don't know. I can't tell you. How many people are as good as you think they were. I mean, they were living in hell. They were surviving in hell. You all living in hell and thriving in hell and. Rockefeller, all I know is David Rockefeller and Philip Rothschild can't stand your ass. Okay. They hate you. They told me over and over again, they'll gladly kill over me and my grandpa's money and watch you and your Jesus die, Parsons. They're all worthless. They're all useless. Okay. They'd rather be on these TV commercials than stand up to live the faith of Psalms and the wisdom of Proverbs. I was like, no, man, you just got to give me an opportunity. Just give me an opportunity to spit it legit so they can quit. Guys, I've been on social media since June 9th, 2009 out of Cochise County. Okay? The Messiah. The ones you guys are all supposed to be looking for. Look to my coming. Look, it's Gandalf. No, it's Magneto. No, it's the guy who did the pupil thing with the guy from Huckleberry Finn, Brad Renfro. That's his name. He wasn't from Huckleberry Finn. It was Tom Sawyer, but he played Huckleberry Finn in Tom Sawyer. Right. Brad Renfro. Right. Amy liked that movie. It was pretty creepy. It was. It's about a kid who finds what's his name, Ian McClellan or whatever. Yeah, he finds out he's an ex Nazi, Gestapo or whatever, and the kid kind of comes and kind of like blackmails him, and then they become like, it's weird. Kid's creepier than the old guy. You're like, holy shit. Yeah, it's a pretty creepy movie. You ever seen that, Pupil? Okay. It's very creepy. Yeah, kind of like a lot of Boys in Brazil when the little Hitler clone is having the Doberman Pinschers, attack and try to kill Sir Laurence Olivier. Yeah, it's that creepy. It's creepy like that. And so you like that. Don't be a fool. Don't throw your life away. Don't be a fool. Don't waste your life, boy. Right? It's crazy, isn't it? It is, man. There's some crazy people in the world. Like that motherfucker. Yeah, he'd be crazy as shit. And the thing is, these people like that, and then the other people, we'll keep Donald Trump. It's okay. Look, just stand for the Lord's Prayer and shut the fuck up. Right? Shut the fuck up. Right? Guys, I don't know if Chip Roy has a who the fuck and knowing who I is, okay, or Tedley Cruz. I don't know if they know who I is. I don't know if they have the insider trading info. I don't know if they're on the need to know list. I can't tell you if they know they're setting up Christians and Muslims for genocide and got promises like with Gandalf, and Grima Wormtongue. I can't tell you if they're Grima Wormtongue, or if they really think they're doing the right thing, and they dumb as fuck like most of my family and a lot of my neighbors, right? I can't tell you. But my neighbors and my family have really no excuse. It's like, okay, he's right, we're wrong. Okay, he's perfect like Job, and we're not. But they still tell me, Jesus is God, and you're a blasphemous sinner who's going to go to hell if you don't believe Jesus is your brain. Right? But Jesus ain't your brain. No. God's omniscient and omnipotent, and you keep saying Jesus is God. So you're saying that a human being is God and your brain is God. Jesus says that's not so. Jesus says God's omniscient, omnipotent, and cannot be grasped by the brain, but is the essence of everybody's brain. And if you have faith in God, you won't try to trap God in your brain and then thus think you're worshiping your brain. Love your mind. Yeah, fuck your mind. It's fucking hideous. It's got more money than it knows what to do, and it invented money, and money's fucked, and so are you. Howdy ho, howdy ho, howdy hi, gonna buy me a piece of the sky. I like that dude. I gotta find out what his name is too. He's one of my favorite singers too. He's a white guy. Yeah, he is. I gotta find out who the lead singer for T-Set is. I already know who Scott Walker is. They call him and J. David Black because they say they name him the group, right? And a lot of the other groups I didn't know. I didn't know who Ron Banks was. I knew who Russell Tompkins Jr. was because I looked at the liner notes because, I just, who's the lead singer? Russell Tompkins Jr. Okay, gosh, damn, I love that man's voice, right? And with the Temps, they always, it was David Ruffin, Eddie Kendricks, Dennis Edwards, they always said who they was, and Smokey Robinson and the Miracles, and Levi Stubbs and the Four Tops and shit, But a lot of groups, I had to find out later who Daryl Alston was, because he's the lead singer of the Manhattans. Bobby DeBarge, because they was DeBarges. Everybody kind of knew the DeBarge. They talk about DeBarge, and then Janet married James DeBarge, and so there was always in the, you know what I'm saying? So, and then after a while, like with Charlie Wilson, well, because, on that video I liked, the last video I liked for all you private, look at my private thing. I can't get my videos to be seen to the public. It won't let me on my YouTube. But there's like almost 5,000 of them. But on the last one I did was with Natalie Cole and Earth, Wind and Fire, and the guy in the purple at the front with the guitar. That's him. That's the only. I met him in 1973 or something, and when I met him, it was 1986, I want to say. So it was like 13 years later, and his hair was short. He had cut his hair shorter. He didn't have a big afro. But that's his face. And I'm like, yeah, he was so cool. He came up to me and he asked me, he quizzed me about the stuff. He goes, what do you think, what's smooth? Well, because I was in charge of shipping and distributing. And he looked at me and he came and talked to me and he said, which ones are your top ones? And I told him it's in the R&B. And he said, okay, what do you, there was the Mac Band, Guy, and another group, I can't remember what it was. but maybe it was Keith Sweat or whatever. But he already knew Keith Sweat, stuff. But he goes, okay, of these two, which one do you think? I said, they're both good. But both singers have a Charlie Wilson vibe. They both sound similar, okay? But Guy sells a little bit better, and Guy has, it's the music, and he came back in the next day and told me, he said, here's what he said, okay? He came back in and he said, the Riley Kid, whether or not, he goes, you're right, they both do have a Charlie Wilson's vibe, and Aaron's might have a little bit, they're both strong, but Aaron sounds a little bit sweeter because he's got better vocals and better arrangement. Okay. So he goes, the main reason why the Guy's a little bit better than the Mac brand is because of this Teddy Riley kid. He says, Teddy Riley, he's the guy who writes all the vocals, he's like Maurice White. He does all the vocals, he does the synthesizers, he does the music arrangements, he does all the, he's like Larry Blackman from Cameo, okay? He does all the work. Aaron comes in and sings, right? Aaron and Gene and his brother, they come in and sing. But Teddy's doing all the work. And he said, well, this gets this way and they might get goofy, the money basically is what he's kind of talking about. He said, it doesn't matter. He goes, this guy will probably have, because he knew the industry, he goes, he'll probably have many different acts, but it's going to be him, and he's going to be real big in the music industry, the Teddy Riley kid. He came in and told me, he assessed the situation, told me, Rex is in effect in Blackstreet. He already knew. He knew, man. I like the way you work it, no diggity. Got to bag it up. Hey, yo, hey, yo, hey, yo, hey, yo. He knew, yeah. No diggity, no doubt, babe. Right, he already knew. And what was the other one? Check, baby, 1, 2, 3. Rump shaker and all that. So he knew. He called it. He told me. He said, yeah. I said, okay, wow. And he told me. He said, yeah, you were right about it. And that's it. And then he came back and told me why. He broke it down to me, which I already knew because I already read the liner notes. I knew the same thing about Larry Blackman and, of course, Maurice White. I knew Maurice did most of the songwriting, most of the arrangements, most of the, he did most of the music and the arrangements and stuff for the good musicians to play. And you can be a good musician, but if you don't have that gift, that gift for we're on the one and we're having fun. Why have I lost you? Why? Tell me you. Right? If you don't have that gift to write that song and put together the music and have it sound right, and so you can sing and sing and sing, but people are going to be like, yeah, nice voice, but I just don't like the songs that much, right? Which happens quite a bit. Because, I like Randy Crawford, but I didn't like the music and the arrangements as much as I like Nancy Wilson and Ella Fitzgerald. But the styles have changed, right? And I'm just more old-fashioned. It's not so much that. I just, the talent and the bands and the arrangements. And by Randy Crawford's time, it became studio music. And it was whatever the people liked. And the styles had changed, and it was like, oh gosh, that's why Randy Crawford and the Crusaders, okay, Street Life. I adore that song. That song was made for her. It's got the Crusaders, man. One of the best jazz groups of my growing up, right? Golly, I'm like, oh, these guys are so good, right? It was Welton Felder and George Duke, and I can't remember who else, but really good jazz musicians, right? So they're putting this together, and she's singing, and you're like, why didn't she get more stuff like that? It was with the jazz and Randy belting it out, She had a lot of the music was pretty, but she sounded so good with jazz. I like, a lot of her songs are really good. Wrap You Up is really good. She's her Every Kind of People is wonderful. Knocking on Heaven's Door, everybody knows she sings it better than Bob Dylan. And don't say that's not hard. That's not hard to do. He does a good job with it. Yeah, but her voice is, Mom, take this badge off of me. I don't want to use it anymore. Take these guns and put them in the ground. I feel like I'm knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Yeah, she tore it up. It was really good. Yeah. Everybody like Randy Crawford? That woman's voice. Ooh, Lord. Good. Yeah, I know. Roberta Flack ain't got nothing on Randy. Randy can sing. I love her voice. Ooh, it's good. All right, guys. And Phoebe. Yeah, Phoebe Snow. Oh, that woman's voice is just, oh yeah, it's wonderful. It's got such a nice, oh yeah, a sultry laugh. There you go. Told me Charlie Parker just died, and I don't want the night to end. Yeah, good song. Okay, guys, I love you too. We'll talk later. But I just want you to know about the whole thing with technology. You got up in Summer Spring Merrill's homes. You got to think like the people that invented it. And wonder why you're so scared technology gonna kill you. Technology been used to kill poor people for maintain the rich people status quo for. It's been a long time coming, since I can't say not when. You know what I'm saying? Since the invention of the catapult, gunpowder and fireworks and shit, motherfuckers. I love you. All right. Your worst nightmare. That's who I am. Your worst nightmare. Showing you shouldn't have built your wall to keep me out. There is no wall that can conceal and keep in lie and keep out the omniscience of truth. You got firewalls? Yeah, you would be that dumb. I love you, all right? Peace. Just do things right. Then you won't have to hide in what you think is your authority and power. Okay, guys? I love you, man. Peace.